You just finished reading an entire chapter. You close the book, look up, and realize you remember almost none of it. Not the details, not even the main idea, just the vague sense that you read something. This isn't a focus problem. It isn't a memory problem. It's a method problem. Your brain doesn't store information the way a hard drive does. It doesn't save everything you expose it to. It saves what it has to work to retrieve. That's the key insight behind what psychologist Robert Bjork calls desirable difficulty, the idea that making learning slightly harder forces your brain to encode it more deeply. Reading is passive, your eyes move, words pass through, but nothing is being tested, retrieved, or rebuilt, so the brain treats it as low priority and lets it fade. Here's what actually works. The first technique is called active recall. Instead of rereading your notes, close them and try to reconstruct what you just learned from scratch. Write it down without looking. Speak it out loud. Struggle a little. That struggle is not failure, it is the learning happening. A landmark 1,992 study by Roediger and Karpicke showed that students who tested themselves remembered significantly more after a week than students who simply reread the same material 3 times. The second technique is spaced repetition. Your brain forgets in a predictable curve, fast at first, then slower. If you review something just before you would have forgotten it, your brain treats it as important and strengthens the connection. Review it today, then in 2 days, then in a week. Each time, the memory becomes more durable. This is why cramming the night before works for tomorrow's test and fails you 3 days later. The third technique is the simplest one. After you finish a page or a section, stop. Don't turn the page yet. Ask yourself one question. What was the main idea? Not the details, just the core point. This single habit, practiced consistently, transforms reading from a passive activity into an active one. You don't need to read more. You need to retrieve more. Your brain doesn't care how many hours you spent with a book open. It cares how many times you are forced to reach back and pull something forward. Every time you do that, the pathway gets stronger. So tonight, when you finish reading, close the book before you think you're ready. Try to remember, struggle. That struggle is not a sign that you're failing to learn. It's the exact moment that learning is actually happening. The chapter you read and forgot, that was just your eyes moving. The chapter you closed, struggled to recall, and then check that one, your brain will keep. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean the world if you gave it a like, shared it with a friend, and hit that subscribe button for more content just like this. We've got so much more interesting stuff on the way, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.